Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video. So, TEQ Golden Frieza is getting his EZA very soon, in only a few days. By the way, TEQ Beerus is also getting his EZA coming up very soon for global players. That's a really big deal because TEQ Beerus does become, I think, one of the best units in the game after his EZA, a wickedly strong unit for the Realm of Gods or Movie Boss team. But, since, Golden Frieza, the EZA comes out one day earlier, we'll talk about him sort of first. So, Golden Frieza, right, is going to be ridiculous when he actually EZAs, no doubt about that. But how about actually taking down the EZA itself? Like, while looking through the category team, like, I sort of touched on this a little bit when the details for FRIEZA'S EZA were first released. But I think this EZA might actually be one of the more easier ones that have released, because there's a lot of good free-to-play options related to Int, Wicked Bloodline type characters, right? So, Frieza is going to be weak to the Wicked Bloodline category. Of course, that's all of the different characters. Now, starting off with AGL Metal Cooler, right? So, if you do have AGL Metal Cooler, he is the leader that is strong against, this sort of EZA event. The only thing is that Cooler is AGL, whereas Frieza is TEQ. So Cooler could put you at a bit of a disadvantage, but I don't know. I sort of don't think so. Here's why. When you fall below 50% HP, Cooler will transform into his, giant core mode. Now, he's still going to have type disadvantage, so he might not be able to do that much damage, but if you have at least one dupe in Cooler and his giant form can then crit, that giant form is going to obliterate that TEQ Golden Frieza. You'd only really need one crit, and it's going to do several health bars of damage. So, even though Cooler is type disadvantaged, his transformation is going to be incredibly important, I think, for some players out there. So, if you've got this guy, this probably is going to be the best unit, like the best leader for this event. We'll look at some other different variations of the team that you can use, but this guy is probably going to be very exceptional. Now, one thing, of course, remember, you can't lower attack in ECAs, which would be helpful, and he does also recover HP, which is pretty good. And then you combine that with auto regeneration, which, this is basically all of the Metal Cooler units. So, LR Metal Cooler, Int Metal Cooler, all the different type Metal Coolers all have this. And then Rildo as well. Funny enough, this is one of, like, 3 units in the game I don't have, this Hyper Metal Rildo right here. So this guy, right, AGL Metal Cooler will be phenomenal for this sort of event, right? Now, if we go into here, into the Wicked Bloodline category, we're mainly looking for Int type units, right? So, number 1, LR Metal Cooler Army. This is going to be, like, probably actually the most important unit for this EZA. He's been out for a long time on JP, so I would think most players realistically should be able to at least have one copy of this guy. I would say one copy is all you'll need, but, you get that second copy, and then he has access to crits, which are going to be very big. Now, LR Metal Cooler is already a good defensive unit, so you're not going to have to worry about him getting beat up too much. Plus, if RNG is good for you, Cooler can launch several super attacks and really cut down the length of the fight. Plus, again, that auto regeneration link. That's why, like, I really think, rocking this Cooler will be good, this Cooler as well, and then also this guy. I did just do a video on this guy. I just rainbowed him for this reason, because 1, he's Int, so he's going to be strong against, TEQ Golden Frieza. 2, you're going to be on a full Wicked Bloodline team, so he's going to have his full passive, 80% active. He recovers 5% HP, and then he's another unit with this auto regeneration link. It's one of these things where it's such a small, like, number, right? 3%. But it activates for both units. So, like, if you have that on, like, both rotations, both units, that's 6% HP you're healing per turn. Plus, this guy also has an extra 5% HP. That quickly will add up. And in an event like this that's really difficult, just that little extra HP really can be all you need to beat it, right? So, like, this guy, global players looking forward to it in the future, this TEQ Frieza EZA. Like, rainbowing this one specifically does have a purpose. He is good enough for this TEQ Golden Frieza EZA, and I think he could be very good to sort of get the job done, right? So, right away, boom, you have 2 free-to-play options that will be incredibly good for this EZA. Very important. Now, you also, if we take a look at the rest of the int type units, right? We have Angel Golden Frieza, we'll get to him in a second, and we also have this int Frieza. Again, I'll talk about him a little bit more. You also have this Metal Cooler right here. Now, this is a unit a lot of people might have, or a lot of people might not have, because Metal Cooler, if I remember correctly, I believe this Metal Cooler might have been taken off banners for a while before he was eventually either added back on, or he's only on double rates or something like that. You know, obviously on the actual Wake Up Bloodline team itself, you're not going to be using this guy, but he also does have that auto regeneration link. And again, if you're going to use any of the other different teams that I'm going to talk about in a bit, this guy could be very useful on them. Probably more so than the EGL one, just because he's not going to have that type disadvantage, right? So I'm going to leave these two up right now. Let me go ahead and get rid of this, and then, you know, TEQ Golden Frieza right there. So if we head down here, right, there's also this guy. I got to put the spotlight on this bad boy right here. This GT Frieza, like when he first came out, I was saying he was like one of the better free-to-play units in the game, and here we go again. You know, the meme comes true, and this guy will help out a lot with the 2-key, 25% attack and defense, which is giving defense to the entire rotation, and he reduces damage received by 30%. Boom. Like, you're going to be good to go. So, already half of the team is free-to-play. Like that's why this EZA is not going to be that difficult, I don't think. You know, all you got to do is put some resources into these free-to-play units, and you're going to be good to go. You also have several other free-to-play units. I wouldn't really, I mean, these are just awakenings of SRs and stuff, but I wouldn't really worry about them. But we also have Chilled. I don't recommend using Chilled. I mean, huge damage, lowers attack, 12% attack per int key sphere. But if you're very low on units, I feel like Chilled actually probably could help. Because Chilled, you know, again, is an int type unit. You know, you probably have to put some orbs in him to help. But, you know, he is a free-to-play option I think could be solid here. You also have this cooler. Now, this cooler, I don't know. I mean, he's probably going to hit lighter than Chilled, but maybe he'll have a bit more defense. Again, this one is sort of a, well, actually, I should consider this a summonable unit, but it is only an SR. I mean, the only thing is, I feel like a lot of people would not have opened up the dupe pass for this guy, since, you know, it's a grind, let's just say that, because you need to do all of this basically times 5 in order to rainbow this cooler. For whales, this isn't such a big problem. Like, I've gotten a lot of these medals just from, you know, purchasing them in the Baba shop. But, like, for a lot of free-to-play players, they're not going to be wasting their Baba points on medals like that, I'm sure. So this guy's probably not really an option. And then there's also this Frieza. High chance of attack, 70%. Again, I feel like this actually is sort of a throwaway option you could have there. One interesting thing is that this guy is on the Seekers of the Dragon Ball team. Other Final Form Friezas are not, but it's because this guy awakens from that first form Frieza. That's why it's this Frieza right here. This is why they usually don't give like that category to this first unit, although I really wish they would clean some of these categories up. But, you know, it is still cool to just have, you know, this is the only Final Form Frieza on that Seekers of the Dragon Ball team. Even though, I mean, like, Frieza is always wanting the Dragon Ball, so I feel like they could have him on there, but whatever. All right, so we looked at a lot of the good sort of in options for the team, right? So let's say you don't have AGL Metal Cooler. Well, I would say your next best option is probably Angel Golden Frieza. And at this point, you can run a Revived Warrior team. Now, again, you still want to go with, like, all of these different Friezas right here. Number one, these two are on the Revived Warrior category, right? So both of them will be good. Now, you can still use this Frieza right here, even though he is not on the Revived Warrior category, because the reason people are like, whoa, wait, he is revived in GT. No. Because remember, Frieza and Cell don't leave Hell in GT. So here's the thing. I guess I feel like you could make the case that GT, Frieza, and Cell could be on Revived Warriors, but at the same time, you could also make the case that they shouldn't be on Revived Warriors because they don't leave Hell, right? Like, because, you know, Portal to Hell is open up, you know, so many different, you know, fighters, you know, from the past come out in that arc of Dragon Ball GT, but Frieza and Cell wait for Goku. So I don't know. I feel like he could be on there, but regardless, you can still use him on the team because Golden Frieza does give 3-key and 50% stats to int types. I mean, this guy will still be okay because he does reduce damage received by 30%. So even with that, he'll still be quite decent, right? So that's good. There are, you know, quite a few different options now. I don't know how much I would really recommend using like other int type units that aren't most level and category units. I'm sure LR Bojack, if you've got him, can probably defend pretty well in this event, but he's not going to be able to do damage. But, you know, at least until stage 30, I would say there's a good chance he can defend, especially if you have a dupe or two in him. I think he could be okay, but a lot of the other int type units, you're probably going to be better off just not even going to. I feel like a real sneaky option could be this cell right here as well. This is like a last resort. Global is actually about to get this guy in a few days because he recovers 20% HP when your HP is 30% or below. So this guy could potentially get you like one last gasp effort at the end of the fight, but you know, that's about it. Now, here's the other thing too, right? So you don't even really need, I don't think, a Dokkan Fest exclusive Frieza unit to run as a leader. I think you probably could do well with just the LR Metal Cooler army right here as an actual leader for the team as well. Because again, a lot of these options are free to play and they are going to be decent offensively and defensively. So like, you know, already, boom, same thing. Like, you have 3 units, so then you only need 3 more. I mean, you could do that like free to play, you know, whatchamacallit, the free-to-play Final Form Frieza is an option. Not great defensively, but he still can do a little bit of damage if his passive activates. And then also, I should point out, these 2 Golden Friezas. Now, until you have your Tech 1 Easy Aid, the AGL one is definitely the way to go, because he reduces damage received by 90%, so he does not take damage, basically, until you fall below 50% HP. But once you fall below 50% HP, at that point, he's worthless. He's dead weight to you. But if we move over here to this unit right here, Tech Golden Frieza, like, I presume as you're going through the stages, you know, you can slowly Easy A him. And I don't know at what point he'll keep his damage reduction under 50% HP, but once that happens, this guy is going to be an exceptional unit in his own Easy A. I mean, reducing damage received by 80%, like, come on, let's not even play around. That's amazing. And plus, his defense is going to be, you know, over 10,000. He's going to be looking real good in there. So this guy is an option. These 2 Golden Friezas are an option. And here's the thing, you know, Tech Golden Frieza has, on Global, he was on like 50 banners at least. Like, we remember Tech Golden Frieza and Physical Goku Black were on like 5 consecutive banners on Global at one point. So a lot of players, if you've been playing for longer than, I don't know, a year, you know, you're above like 400 days played or something like that on your account, you should probably have Tech Golden Frieza or AGL Golden Frieza, one of the two. And then I feel like one more sort of like other option that you can run is you could probably potentially run this transforming Frieza as your leader. Now, he's going to get hit really hard, especially if you're not supering to raise his defense, but him recovering HP every turn probably could merit the fact that I think you probably could beat stage 30 with a double Tech Frieza lead, you know, just provided your LR Metal Cooler army is strong, you know, you have like maybe a damage reduction, you know, Golden Frieza or something like that. I don't think this is really going to be too difficult. Like, here, we'll go ahead and switch over and I'll show you guys the teams I have built for the event. I'm going to test out a couple of them. So, of course, we have the Revived Warrior one. You know, a lot of the same units I've been talking about here, all on this team. Should work very well defensively and offensively. Here, of course, is the AGL Metal Core variant that I've got. Now, by the way, once Tech Golden Frieza, you know, is fully Easy Aid, I will replace the AGL one with Tech Golden Frieza, just because of the fact that even under 50% HP, you know, he's a complete, like, tank, which will be so good. Whereas, you know, AGL Golden Frieza does not continue his tanking under 50% HP, which is an issue. Then, of course, you know, you could do the Transforming Frieza theme. Same thing. If you don't have Angel Golden Frieza, maybe you don't have AGL Metal Cooler, but you do have this Transforming Frieza, he could be good. And then, of course, you know, you could even do the LR Metal Cooler Army team, which, again, I think would be more than good enough. Like, you know, you have so many, like, really good free-to-play options for this EZA that I don't think this one is going to be too hard at all. So, we'll go ahead and finish up there, guys. Let me know what teams you guys are going to try to use to take down this the Golden Frieza EZA. Thanks for watching, and I will catch y'all next time.